Welcome to the Housed series, where every chapter unveils the dark secrets hidden within walls we think are safe. Today, we journey back to the 1990s to witness the chilling tale of Derek and Bliss, a young couple who received a beautiful, desolated house as a wedding gift. But what seemed like a dream turned into a nightmare, one that demanded the ultimate sacrifice. Join us as we uncover the sinister truths lurking behind the walls of the sacrificed. In the summer of 1990, Derek and Bliss, a bright and hopeful young couple, received an unexpected wedding gift from an elderly couple close to Derek. These friends had watched Derek grow from a child into a man, and he trusted them. They presented the house as an act of deep love, saying, "A place to start your family and build new memories." Bliss, though polite, felt a chill every time she looked at the house. It was grand but old, looming at the end of a long, overgrown driveway with walls that seemed to lean inward as though listening for secrets. She voiced her concerns to Derek, hoping he'd see her side, but he was thrilled. "Bliss, they're giving us a house. Do you know how lucky we are?" So they moved in, and for a time life was peaceful. Bliss decorated the rooms, planted a small garden, and slowly adjusted to the strange creaks and whispers that seemed to echo at odd hours. She dismissed them as quirks of an old house, but her unease lingered. The first few weeks in the house went smoothly, despite Bliss's underlying unease. But as the months passed, small, unsettling things began to happen. Late at night, she would hear faint voices, unintelligible murmurs, and as if from deep within the walls. She would feel sudden drafts of ice cold air and catch glimpses of shadowy figures out of the corner of her mind. She couldn't escape the feeling that someone or something was watching her. Bliss, heavily pregnant, tried to ignore it all, rationalizing her fear as nerves or a trick of the mind. She kept her worries to herself, not wanting to burden Derek, who remained practical and loving. However, the incidents grew more frequent and intense. Doors would slam shut on their own and objects would move without explanation. The oppressive atmosphere of the house pressed down on Bliss, making every day more difficult. As Bliss's anxieties deepened, so did the divide between her and Derek. Whenever she tried to explain the voices, the whispers, the sense of being watched, Derek dismissed her concerns. "Bliss, you're letting your imagination run wild. It's this pregnancy. It's making you jumpy." One night, unable to bear the tension any longer, Bliss confronted Derek. "Derek, please, I'm not crazy. There's something wrong with the house. I hear voices, I feel things. We need to leave." Derek sighed deeply, trying to remain calm. "Bliss, this is our home. Stop trying to ruin it with these ridiculous stories. Maybe some rest will help you relax." But Bliss could see the worry in his eyes, even as he continued to deny the reality of what was happening. She felt more isolated than ever, trapped in a nightmare she could sense. Despite Derek's disbelief, the experiences grew worse. One night, while passing by the hallway mirror, Bliss felt a reflection staring back, even though she couldn't see it. She froze, feeling a cold presence behind her, though she was alone in the room. Derek came in, finding nothing unusual. "I saw it, Derek," she whispered, clutching her belly protectively. "It was there. Something was watching me." He shook his head, frustration etched on his face. "Please, it's late. You're exhausted. Let's get some sleep." Another night, Bliss ventured into the attic, driven by a compulsion she couldn't resist. She felt the oppressive energy growing stronger, the air thick with malevolence. There, she discovered symbols carved into the walls and an ancient dust-covered journal. As she flipped through its pages, the horrifying truth clawed its way to the surface. The journal, written by a previous owner, detailed dark rituals performed on the land long before the house was built. Sacrifices were made to the Watcher of Shadows, an ancient, nameless force bound to the soil. The old couple had kept the tradition alive, offering sacrifices to keep themselves safe and prosperous. The ritual demanded a young family with their firstborn child to seal the covenant. Bliss realized with dawning horror that Derek's friends, the ones who had gifted them the house, were part of the ritual, a dark tradition that required their family and child as the next offering. The whispers had been a warning, a desperate attempt to reach her before it was too late. With the revelation of the truth, Bliss became frantic. She packed a bag, preparing to leave, but as she rushed to the front door, it slammed shut in her face, locking tight. She tried the back door, the windows, even considered breaking a wall. Seats seemed to twist and sail as though the house itself were alive. She spent days trapped inside, exhausted and fighting the terror that now flooded her every waking moment. Derek tried to calm her, but she could see the fear in his eyes, even as he continued to deny the reality of what was happening. Please stop this. It is not real." But Bliss knew what she felt was real. The house had its claws deep into their lives. She was determined to protect her unborn child from the dark fates that awaited them. One night, as Bliss was in labor, the house's malevolent presence intensified. Shadows wreathed around her, and the air grew thick with darkness. Derek, realizing too late that Bliss was telling the truth, tried to help her, but the shadows snaked around him, pulling him into the darkness with a final agonizing scream. Bliss listened in horror as Derek was consumed by the house, his screams echoing through the walls, blending with the whispers of the trapped soul. Desperate and in pain, Bliss clutched her newborn son and fought against the house's grip. She stumbled towards the door, her legs weak but her resolve strong. As she reached the entrance, the shadows lashed out, tearing at her skin and trying to pull her back. Bloodied and bruised, she pushed forward, breaking free from the house's hold, just as the first light of dawn began to break through the darkness. Bliss collapsed on the deserted winding road, her body battered and broken but her son safe in her arms. Hours later, paramedics and officers rushed to her side, finding her barely conscious, clutching her child protectively. "Protect him," she whispered with her last breath, her eyes filled with a fierce determination as she passed away, knowing her child was safe from the house's curse. As the rescuers took her son into their arms, they noticed a pendant around his hand, a strange ancient symbol that glowed faintly, holding the key to breaking the house's curse. They didn't understand its significance, but they knew it was important. Bliss's son was taken to safety, the pendant resting against his chest, its power unknown but promising a future where the house's dark legacy could finally be ended. The house, left once more in silence, awaited its next unsuspecting family. The pendant remained on Bliss's son, a beacon of hope and the only means to break the cycle of sacrifice that had haunted the house for centuries. As he grew, the pendant would reveal its true power, offering a chance to free the trapped souls and end the house's reign of terror. But for now, the house stood silent, its walls holding the tragic stories of those it had claimed, waiting for the day when the pendant's power would be unleashed and its curse would finally be broken. As the story of Derek and Bliss draws to a tragic end, the house remains, still thirsting for lives and waiting for the next family to enter its shadowed halls. But with Bliss's newborn son surviving, a glimmer of hope remains, one that may finally break the curse and free the souls trapped with him. Don't miss the next chapter of the House series as we dive even deeper into the curse's origins and the battles yet to come. Remember to like, subscribe, and share if you dare to continue with us into the darkness. Thank you and see ya. Bye.